Gutierrez are coming from Guadalajara, so there's a lot of pride at stake there as well. With Abner Mares, we have a 5-time world champion. He fought the best, and fighting the best is what makes you what he is today, a modern-day legend, and that you only become and that you only earn if you continuously, as a fighter, challenge yourself to fight the best. I have never, ever, and I've been involved with Abner Mares since his very first fight coming out of the Olympics. I've never seen Abner turn down an opponent. And so I was not surprised when Andres Gutierrez was suggested to him that he had no problem whatsoever. With Andres Gutierrez, he's fighting a fighter with a record of 35 wins, 1 loss, and 25 knockouts. He is one of those hunters. He is one of those hunters who are going after Abner and everything he has achieved. He realizes what a win would mean for him and for his family. He's 24 years young and was waiting patiently for this opportunity. He had it a few months ago to fight in Ireland against Carl Frampton. Looked spectacular, great at the weigh-in, was well prepared and was going for the upset. And I actually predicted, for those who want to read online, I predicted that Gutierrez was going to beat Carl Frampton. Unfortunately, Gutierrez then had a freak accident. He slipped in the shower and he couldn't fight. So here he is, he has another opportunity, another bite at the apple, so to speak, for the world title. And I can assure you that he will come ready, hungry, and prepared to upset Abner Mares. Now, Team Mares, first I would like to introduce to you now Robert Garcia. There's no question that Robert Garcia is today, if not one of the best, in my opinion, the best trainer in the sport. And his record speaks for itself. You look at what he has done with Mikey Garcia, who in my opinion is pound for pound the most talented and best fighter in the world today. You look at what he has done with Abner Mares at a time when many fight fans and media members counted Mares out. What he did with him, come up with the right game plan to defeat Dejan Slachatinin last December here at the Galen Center. You know, you see now what he's doing with 2 of my Mexican prospects, the 2 Mexican Olympians, Lindolfo Delgado and Misael Rodriguez. So he really is, in my opinion, today, a league of his own. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you Robert Garcia.
I ain't got much to say. I just want to thank everybody for being here, for supporting this event. It's a great event for Southern California. We got Leo, who is obviously one of the great champions here in Southern California, and Abner Mares, and obviously Avalos, glad for him to get an opportunity. We're going to be ready for a great fight, and I just hope everybody shows up and supports the local Southern California fighters. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Robert. Now, next up to the podium is somebody who certainly doesn't need any introduction anywhere in the world, but particularly not here in his adopted hometown of Los Angeles. He's a 2004 Olympian, where he represented Mexico. He faced everyone, as I mentioned before, from 118 to 126 pounds. Has never, and I really mean never, been in a boring fight. Always gives it his all. And as I mentioned as well, turned back the clock in December and proved everyone that this chapter here for Abner Mares is just the beginning for other great fights. It's the hottest division in the sport. He knows that first things first. He knows that he's going to have a tough challenge ahead of him. But as I said, he never shies down of one. And with the record of 30 wins and 2 losses, the 5-time world champion, my good friend Abner Mares.
Richard. Good afternoon, everyone. I was hoping that I'll be on this side and Lee on this side for this fight, but you know, business-wise and for the reasons it did not happen. It would happen. It will happen within time. But now we have two tough opponents in front of us. Myself, I have Andres Gutierrez, who you guys already probably searched him up, and like Richard said, he was going to fight Frampton. Richard said he called an upset on that fight. Let's see what he calls on this one. But you know, I'm going to be ready. As hard as I was training for the Leo fight, I'm going to train as hard for this fight, because we all know that, you know, these young fighters, he's 24 years old, has for that young age a tremendous record of 36, 25 knockouts, only one defeat. He's a warrior. Got no easy task, no easy fight, and you know, but he doesn't have the talent I have. He doesn't have the heart I have. He doesn't have the coach I have. He doesn't have, you know, just overall anything I have. So I'm just gonna come out victorious. I'm gonna come out and give you guys a good fight. I'm fighting again here in California, my home. Show you guys, you know, what I've learned with my team. I want to thank Robert Garcia for bringing the best of Abner, as you guys saw my last fight, and it's going to continue to shine. We feel confident, you know, sparring after sparring, how we looked. I want to thank my sparring partner, Louis, who's here too. Great sparring partner, young, you know, up-and-comer, what's the last name? Luis Coria. You guys are, hopefully we get him in that card too. He's an up-and-comer, great amateur background, great sparring, and you know, like I said, Robert Garcia, his son Pita. I want to thank Luis Garcia, my conditioning coach, who's been my conditioning coach for the past 8 years, if not more. I want to thank my wife, my kids, my brother who's back there, everyone, my camera guy, you guys, everyone. You know, Leo, Avalos. I've known Avalos for many years as well. We used to be sparring partners back in the days, and he's a tough guy, man. So we both have a tough fight at the StubHub Center. Do not miss it, October 14th. I can't wait to show you guys a good fight from my side, to show you guys a new Abner. And I know I sound repeatedly because I say this every fight, and it's because I am learning more and I am becoming a better fighter, and you will see. So thank you guys again so much. Al Heyman, the whole team, Watsons, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Abner, and you know, about who would I pick in this fight, I can tell you there are two guys in the sport I would never pick against, not only because they're just two great friends, two great fighters, but because they are so skillful. They are so skillful, and both of those guys are sitting up here, and that's Leo and that's Abner. They're just unbelievable people inside the ring and outside of the ring. So you asked who I would pick in this fight? Well, you know, there you go, your answer. Now let's move on to Leo Santa Cruz versus Chris Alos. Another fight between two of the most exciting fighters in the sport. I mean, when you look at the matchmaking of those two fights, you just know for sure that these are going to be fights which are going to be exciting. These are really not just like opponents. I wouldn't even call them opponents. These are guys who are hunters, who want to hunt for that title, for what Leo has and what Abner has. And Chris Avalos is certainly no exception to that. So I know that Chris will be ready. He's coming off a TKO victory over Miguel Flores in his last fight. He knows he has a great team behind him as well with his father. Incidentally, both of those fighters are trained by their fathers. I think that's very noteworthy as well. And I'd like to introduce to you now Felipe Avalos, the father and trainer of Chris Avalos.
Buenas tardes a todos y muchas gracias por venir ahora en este día. Y pues yo pienso que va a ser una pelea, buena pelea, una pelea que no vamos, esta oportunidad que nos está dando Río Santa Cruz. Gracias, muchas gracias al equipo Santa Cruz. Y les prometo que va a ser una pelea muy buena y venimos muy bien preparados. Esta oportunidad no la vamos a dejar ir y la vamos a aprovechar al 100%. Se los prometo que va a ser una pelea muy buena y emocionante para tomar. Gracias.
I want to translate for those of you, excuse me? Well, I can translate it.
Oh, you
Yeah, come on. So Felipe said that this is one of those opportunities where you know you're going to have to be well prepared, that he will be well prepared, that Chris has been waiting for that, and that he can't wait for this for October the 14th. Did I pretty much say that well? All right, good. See, come on. You're going to speak in English, I'm going to then translate it into Spanish. I wouldn't do that. Well, now to move on, it is a pleasure for me to introduce to you a fighter with the record of 27-5. He's fighting out of Lancaster, California, and as his father just said, I know he's been waiting for that. He knows that beating Leo Santa Cruz will be a game changer, a career changer for him. He's hungry, he's ready, and he will show up on October the 14th. It's a pleasure for me to introduce you, Chris Avalos.
I just want to thank everybody for coming, and also, like my dad said, you know, we'd like to thank Al Heyman and Leo Santa Cruz for the opportunity. And yeah, just I'm not a big talker, so I'm just ready for the fight, and you know, it's going to be a good fight. I'm beyond ready. I think it's going to be a nice little war, so kind of safe for the fight. I like going toe to toe, so does he. So I mean, it's gonna be a good fight, and again, I'd like to thank everybody. And yeah, I got not a lot to say, so appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Now on to Team Santa Cruz. Really a pleasure to introduce them again. I've done a few of the press conferences for Leo, so I'm really happy to be part of your career again. I'd like to first acknowledge Jose Santa Cruz, Leo's father. He is unfortunately wasn't able to be here today, but I'd like to acknowledge as well Antonio, Leo's brother, who I don't see. Do you want to say a few words? Or? You're okay, all right. Okay. Anyway, so welcome and happy that you are here. What can I say about Leo Santa Cruz? A 3-division world champion, 118 pounds, 122 pounds, 126 pounds. Last fight was a fight of the year against Carl Frampton, but frankly, I think in the last 5, 6, 7 years, Leo Santa Cruz fights have always been either fight of the year, or candidate of the year, or round of the year, or fighter of the year. He was always involved in that. And that tells you what an exciting fighter Leo Santa Cruz is. Another one of those fighters who never turns down a challenge, comes well prepared, and boring doesn't exist in the Santa Cruz vocabulary. He's exciting. He's must-see TV. He's one of those handful fighters where you don't want to miss the chance to see him live. And you have an opportunity here, fight fans from and around Los Angeles, for $30. I mean, $30 to see not only Leo, but Abner as well. And as I said in the beginning of the press conference, double trouble at the StubHub Center. It is a pleasure for me now to introduce to you another fighter who I really consider a friend as well, a gentleman in and out of the ring, with a record of 33-1, the current WBA Super World Champion, Leo Santa Cruz.
Muy buenas tardes a todos, and good afternoon everyone. And well, I'm just very happy, I'm very happy to be back to fight here in LA. And I owe all this to to my manager Al Heyman, to all of you guys, to Richard, to Tom Brown from TGP, the Washington team, my family, all the people, all the fans that make this possible. I'm just glad to be able to fight here in LA again. And people, they were expecting for me to fight, Abner, but I don't know, for a reason, didn't happen. And Chris Avalos, a fighter I know as an amateurs, you know. I seen him fight there. He fought a couple of my, you know, teammates. He beat one of them. And then me and him fought too. We were like 15, 16 years old. And we fought. It was a great fight, you know, tough fight. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, why take easy fight? There's no easy fight. I don't see no easy fight. I never underestimate no fighter. For me, every fighter that step up there in the ring with me is the same as tough as anybody else. You know, because anything will happen up there in the ring, you know. A good shot, if he could connect you with a good shot or anything, you know. And he's tough, you know, he's tough. I've seen him fight and he has good power. Out of 27 wins, he has 20 knockouts. So like I said, you know, I never underestimate nobody. I prepared. Right now my focus is on him. We were training really hard for him. And we're gonna come really good. You know, we're gonna go out there, give a great fight. Like he said, you know, he come forward, I go forward. So it's gonna be a good little war. And hopefully, God, we get the win. We'll give you guys the rematch that you guys all want. You know, me against Abner Mares. You know, Mares is a tough fighter. You guys saw the first fight. It was a war, toe-to-toe. I respect him, you know, like I said, it was a really close fight. Thank God I got the victory. And now, you know, he could get the, you know, be able to take the bench that, you know, bench the last. But, you know, we're going to train. He has a great trainer, Robert Garcia. You know, he changed him, you know, in the first fight against me, you know, he brawled and maybe people could say that that was a mistake, you know, that he should have boxed me. And then against Cuellar, you know, he boxed really good. He surprised all of us, you know. He did what he had to do. He was smart, and that makes it just for a even better fight if, you know, we get the opportunity to fight each other. But right now, like I said, my focus is on Avalos. I know it's going to be a great fight, and we're just getting ready for that fight. And hopefully, October 14th, we do a great fight for all the fans and to come support us. And thank you, all of you guys.
I cannot speak that long. Do you want to say a few words in Spanish? Maybe that would be good.
Hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. Just before a big fight, I'm often asked, you know, what are the odds? Like, who should I put my money on? Who do you got? It just makes sense for me to tell you guys that you should go visit Bovada. The link is in our description box. Just click it and you'll be directed right over to them. And also, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate it if you did. Just click right here.